Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. So I was bouncing around YouTube tonight and I saw Simon from the Hermit's Cave did a tag, hashtag my workhorse decks or workhorse decks. I'll put it in the description box below correctly, but I decided to go ahead and do it since it was him and then Becca from, I think she changed her name again on her channel, but it used to be Becca Talks and Tarot. But he did 7 prompts. And I decided to go ahead and do them. And then he said you could add some or take some away or whatever you wanted to do. I did add 2, so I have 9 prompts. And then my first one, I actually have 2 decks for. So without further ado, this is my VR to Simon at the Hermit's Cave for hashtag workhorse deck. So the first prompt is shadow work. And the very first deck I ever bought specifically for shadow work is Tarot of the Secret Forest. It is Low Scare Barrel deck. You can see it is well loved. Got a little white book here. I edged it in black. The reason I bought this was I saw it on Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And I'm like, I need that deck in my life. But I saw the fronts and then there's the backs. And the backs are slightly, they're black and white. So they're slightly different. How here it's just a river. Back here you can see the same image, but there's also a boat sitting there in black and white. So I found that interesting. And this deck, these first few photos, well, not this one. This one was a mediumistic thing that happened, which I've talked about on my channel many times. So there's that. This one reminds me of the burning bush in the biblical sense. This one reminds me of aliens, some kind of sci-fi book I've read. But it has this distinct... and I'm like, oh, I'll get this for the colored side to be for the light, the dark side to be for the, shadow work. But what I found was this is a dark deck regardless of what side you use. It also works as a mediumship deck very well. If you want to go dark and go deep and get things that need to be pulled out, this is the deck for you. Plus, I love fairies, and this is a very dark fairy deck. The images are gorgeous, just stunning, and I love it. And it was my first foray into shadow work. Nowadays, I use a newer deck for shadow work. I still use this deck for other things. So don't think it's just sitting on the shelf, because it's not. I actually just had it last week. I used it for my deck of the week. But the Ferric Pinter Tarot I bought for my birthday in September, also published by Low Scare Barrel. It is a 2-part box. This was kind of accidental. It is the thicker cardstock of Ferric Pinter, Carpe Diem on the back, F Pinter. The second I did a walkthrough and saw this card, I lost my mind. As a Virgo, I have to have everything organized. And if one wrench is thrown in my day, it's utter chaos. And I see this as like the wheels have come off. The horse is separated. It's all hell's broken loose here. And it just had the first deck I've really ever had a very visceral reaction to. And I was like, why? And that kind of, hedged into shadow work with this deck. This one, again, it's the 5 of Pentacles. And if you notice, there is a figure sitting here in the corner. And it just kind of blew my mind that they've made it into the room. Normally you see them out in the snow, out in the cold. They've made it into the room, and yet there's still this darkness here. And I'm like, what is happening? And then this one, of course, it seems like it would be a dark card, but to me it's a freedom. There's a sense of freedom here. So it is well balanced, but there are images in here that trigger shadow work that needed to be done for me. Plus his artwork is fantastic. It's just beautiful, beautiful work. So this is my other, this is like the newer shadow work deck I use. For shadow work. And it's brilliant, and it's amazing, and it's beautiful. And it is the Frank Pinter Tarot. So there you go. There's that one. Okay, where's my box? I just had the box. Yeah, this was a whim purchase, and it's been amazing. Okay, next question. Question 2. That was only question 1. Inner child work. And I really haven't ever done any inner child work, simply because I know it's going to be bad. But what's funny is the last week, every time I turn around, I'm seeing tarot spreads. I'm seeing videos. I'm seeing tarot decks all geared toward inner child work. And I've had one deck that has been calling me. It was like, you need to do inner child work. And that is the Mystic Medleys by Liminal 11. This deck is, to me, not a warm, fuzzy deck, even though it's cartoons. And I love that it's a hardback book. Love the backs. For example, this card here, 8 of Swords. We can get so comfortable in a position that we do not belong in that she's just like, she's gotten comfortable. She's taken a nap. And that's the first time I've seen the 8 of Swords in a different reality. I'm like, that's kind of dark and twisted. And then we have a card like this where 5 of Wands, it's all about being competitive, but he's only being competitive with himself. And I'm like, this is exactly how I see this card. 7 of Pentacles, he's planted it, he's waiting for it to reap his rewards, but he's at this moment where he's about to break, and he's like, is it worth it? Is it worth the backache? Is it worth the sweating? Is it worth all this hard work I put into it? And once I saw that, and there's so many other cards in here that I'm like, what is happening? Because this is not some kitschy little, oh, it's a cute little cartoons. No, it bites you in the butt. And if I was looking for an inner child deck, this is exactly what I would be looking for. I would be looking for something that is brutally honest, but does it in such a way that, in a cute way, in a cartoony, cute way. So you're not overwhelmed. And boy, oh boy, the readings I've had with this deck, and it scares me even now to have to go into, because I know I need to do inner child work to heal a lot of that. And then this one, the 9 of Wands, he's like, been through the struggle, and then there's an arrow pointing, this is the way to go. And I think it's brilliant. I've seen a lot of people say they don't like this deck, but if you look at it from maybe an inner child perspective, it works. And I haven't really done any inner child work with it lately, or yet, but I know it's going to be, that's going to be the deck for me for that. And that's why I bought it when I bought it, because it was gearing up for this year. So that is the Mystic Medleys. I think it's super cute, but it's super hard hitting as well. And that's exactly what with my personality, exactly what I need for a inner working deck, or inner child working deck. So we have, where are we at? Number 3, Pathworking Deck. And the only deck I thought of is my Tarot Illuminati. It is the deck I learned tarot on. It's the second tarot deck I ever bought. I found myself, I bought the deck, or a book, Tarot for Yourself. And I kind of accidentally found myself in the Tower card. There is a working thing that you can do in that book. And then I found myself in the Tower card, and I was smelling brimstone. I was hearing people screaming as they're falling off this tower, this church. And then I heard very subtly the fall of religion, or the fall of your idea of what religion should be. And I started bawling. It was literally like I went into this card and was experiencing what these people are experiencing, but it was also something that was breaking away from me that I had been holding on to so tightly that I no longer needed. And that is exactly what the Tower is. And so, and like the 10 of Wands, this heavy burden is just, this card just keeps coming up this year for me. This Hermit, I can feel the ice and the beauty, but also the isolation of it all. It's just this Three of Swords. I can hear the waves crashing against the rocks. I could see the lightning and the thunder and the rain pounding against everything. It's just crazy how into this deck I got when I first got it. I was stepping into every card, and I was knowing what was going on, what they were feeling, what they were thinking. Yeah, just Eight of Swords. It's brilliant, and it's beautiful. And yeah, it's the deck I learned tarot on, and it's also the deck that I figured out you can do pathworking with. Yep, that is the Tarot Illuminati, published also by Lo Scarabero. And someday I'll get a copy of that. Okay, so question 4 are we on? Personal growth and development. New Chapter Tarot. It's one of my new top 10 decks ever by Catherine Briggs. Published by Liminal 11. This deck is brilliant. It's smaller cardstock. I've done mediumship readings with this. I have done pathworking readings with this. I've done all kinds of readings with this deck. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It is brilliant. And that's all I have to say about it. It's amazing. Amazing. And I keep hearing that it's more Thoth-based, but I don't do Thoth. I just read it intuitively, and it's fabulous. I don't know why some of the cards are turned around. It's fabulous. Fabulous deck. And I love it to pieces. It's one of the few decks that I instantly got and was like instantly madly in love with. And I got it on a whim thinking, oh, it's cute, I'll get it. And then I got it and I was like, it's amazing. But the more bridge size cards, they fit way better in my hand than a regular tarot size. This deck is amazing. It was so wonderful that I even bought the special edition from Liminal 11. It's got gold gilding, and then it's got all kinds of extra goodies with it that I am in love with every part of it. So there's that deck. That is the Personal Growth and Development New Chapter. I learn something every time I work with this deck. It's just gorgeous. And it's mass market. Like, it's $20. It's cheap. So we got number 5, My Ride or Die. And if you guys have watched my channel for any amount of time, you're going to know it's the Light Seers. This is my soul deck. This is the one deck. If I had to give up all my decks but one, this is the one I would keep. It's beautiful. It's my best friend. During COVID, it was the deck I worked with. And everybody's got this deck. I knew you knew it would make an appearance somewhere in this if you watched my channel. Because I managed to get it in almost every video I do. Because it's that amazing. And I'm not going to go too crazy on it because everybody's either got this deck, has this deck, or knows about this deck. It is amazing. And I love it. So hard. So that is the Light Seers Tarot. It is the mass market version by Hay House. Got it on Amazon. It's like, I think, $17 right now on Amazon. Pretty cheap. Next, we have number 6, Hello There. A new deck that just kind of really took you by storm. I've got it in a pouch because, and I think Simon had this one on his as the Hello Again. Mine is Hello there because I just got it like a month ago. It is the Deviant Tarot. I got the Schiffer version. I have edged and trimmed it. I measured out each thing so nothing got cut off from the images that were coming out. This deck is amazing. He said it's a very earthy deck. I feel it's a very watery deck. And for somebody that doesn't connect with the City of Cups at all, and have been pretty much on this journey of trying to figure out my emotional, like open up my emotional side more, this is a perfect deck for that. I did not realize how much I love this deck until I got it, trimmed it, edged it, and then I worked with it for like 3 weeks straight. It was just constant. And then even now, like the last couple weeks, I'm like, where's that deck at? I need it back again. I work with it at least once a week. Now, even now, it's gorgeous. And it's amazing. And it opens up a lot of emotions for me that need to be opened up, that I've shut down for a long time. Yeah, that is a gorgeous, 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 gorgeous deck. And I love it to pieces. And I'm so glad I bought it. And it took me all day to edge it, measure everything out, trim it. But it was worth it. I love it to pieces. It's much more manageable now. And I love it. And I love the purple to match the flowers on the back. So that is the Deviant Tarot for my Hello There deck I just got like a month ago. So number 7 is Hello Again. And he's got this on his, I think we've got him reversed. No, we don't, because he's had the Deviant Moon for a long time. But this is the borderless edition of the Deviant Moon. I had the bordered edition. I did edge it in this like brown to match the backgrounds on almost all the cards. See how that turned out pretty good. These are the backs, and I'm not going to belabor this one too much because everybody's seen this deck as well. They've seen it, got rid of it, whatever. But it is one of those decks that when I got it from somebody for like $10, the bordered edition. And I'm like, no, it's not nothing like what I want to work with. And then, I mean, it did make me laugh, though. There were some things in it that made me laugh. And I've had it forever. I haven't really worked with it. And then I'm like, you know what? Something told me to get the borderless edition. Because it has big, ugly borders. And I got the borderless edition. And the second I got it, stuff started flowing. And I'm like, oh. So I could see this being worked with as a darker deck. As a shadow work deck. But it was like, when I got it recently, borderless, it like opened up things for me that I hadn't seen in this deck before. And so I've really been trying to really connect with it here the last couple months, and it's working out. I actually love the borderless edition. So that was the 7 prompts Simon did. So I've got 2 more. One is, or number 8 is past life work. And that, if you've seen my channel for any amount of time, is the Stretch Tarot. I love it. It's been edged in this navy blue. Beautiful backs. It's got keywords on it. That's where you can get it. It's gorgeous. It has keywords on it. This is my go-to deck for past life work. This deck is never very far from me because I can do medium mystic reads with it. I can do ancestor work with it. I can do past life work with it. All kinds of stuff. So this deck is never that far away from me because it gets used quite a bit. And I know it's not everybody's aesthetic, but when I was looking for a past life deck, this is the deck that popped up. And it was something that, it was like I had envisioned this deck before I ever knew it existed. And that's the deck for me right there for past life work. This is the 2nd edition. The only thing that's changed is the box, though. And the tech box is actually really good shape. It's really good. So that's number 8. Number 9, hopefully before I run out of time, Ancestral Pathwork. And the only deck for that is my Ancestor Path Tarot by Julia Cuccia Watts. This deck, I got this deck, and then I have a Oracle deck too. They both published by US Games. They both make you feel like I've owned this deck before, even though I've never owned it. The backs. This deck is gorgeous. And I can feel my ancestors calling me when I hold this deck in my hand. Just like I do with the Oracle deck that I pair with this when I do ancestor work. I don't do ancestor work a lot because it's so deep and detailed that I need a break in between doing the work I do with it. But when I do, man, it's hard hitting and it's deep. But this is the Ancestor Path Tarot by Julia Cuccia Watts. It's gorgeous, and the cards are humongous, and I love that they're huge. Love it. But look at that moon card. Ugh. Yeah, so that is my VR to Simon at the Hermit's Cave. He had, I love this Two of Swords. Look at that. He's got 7 prompts. I added 2 more. I'm sorry, Simon, you said we could. I went ahead. I couldn't do this tag without adding those 2. So there it is. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Bye.